Mike, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good.
Good to see you.
Nice to be here.
All right. Well, can you tell me about, well, first of all, let me go ahead and remind you that anything that we talk about here is kept in these four walls.
Okay.
So it's private and confidential.
Okay.
And we always want to have respect for each other. And if you can tell me a little bit about what's been going on in your life since we met last.
Well, got into a little hassle with my wife and knocked her around a little bit and gave her a black eye.
Oh dear. Is she hurt badly or?
Other than the black eye, no.
Okay. And has this kind of violence happened before?
Yeah, in the past, yeah.
It has. Can you tell me what took place so that I understand the situation?
Well, I went out and had a few beers with the boys, and then I came home and she started in on me, nagging me about going out and not coming home, and I told her to be quiet, and she didn't, and I told her again, and so I backhanded her a few times, and she was quiet after that.
Okay. Well, let me ask if your kids were home when this took place.
The 15 and the 12-year-old were home, yeah.
Okay. So did they actually see what took place?
Oh yeah, it was a pretty big blow up.
Were the police involved?
No.
Okay. And how is your wife now?
She's okay. Her eyes yellow and purple right now.
Okay. And how do you feel about what took place?
Well, not too good. But she just wouldn't be quiet. I told her to be quiet, and she just wouldn't. She has no respect for me.
Okay. Does this kind of a situation occur after you've been drinking?
Not every time.
How many times do you go out and have drinks?
Oh, 2 or 3 times a week.
How many drinks would you say you have each one of those times?
4 or 5, maybe 6, half a dozen or so.
Okay. When you leave that place where you're having your drinks, and how do you get home? Do you drive?
Oh yeah, I drive, sure.
You drive yourself?
Why
Okay.
not?
Well, let me just put this out there so that you understand that there's some severe consequences that can be have dealt with, because there's severe consequences that could happen to you and to other people. Number one, drinking and driving, and you know all the stories, I'm sure.
I'm not going to get in an accident.
That's what a lot of people who have this type of a problem say. But also, this, you could lose your kids.
Lose them how?
Well, drinking and then having an abusive situation at home, like you did, and it could be, your wife could either kick you out, or you would end up being arrested, put in jail.
I hadn't thought of that.
And driving, certainly intoxicated, cannot harm just you, but also other people. And so you have to realize that there are some severe consequences for this kind of behavior. Both the drinking, driving, and the physical abuse. Now let's get back to talking about your drinking here. You say you're roughly having 3 times a week, where you're having approximately a half a dozen drinks.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you get home, can you kind of tell me the scenario that takes place? I mean, does your wife, is it that she doesn't like you to drink? Or is it the fact that you're not home and she's upset about that?
I don't know what her problem is. It's just going out, having a few drinks after work, and I work hard all day.
Okay. I think we should possibly look into the idea that maybe there is some alcoholism involved here.
Oh, I don't think I'm an alcoholic.
All right, why don't you tell me what's your definition of an alcoholic?
Somebody that drinks every day and gets drunk every day. Fall down and pass out.
Okay. How about if I told you that that's not correct? That you don't have to be falling over drunk to be an alcoholic. You could be having drinks, and a lot of alcoholics don't even feel side effects from it because they've been doing it so long. But they have the need. So do you feel that you have a need to have these nights out, that you have a need to want to have drinks?
No, it's not a need. It's just, it's fun going out with the guys and shooting pool and having a few beers.
Okay. When you get home and you have these situations with your wife, do you like that? Is it working for you?
Oh no, that's horrible. I feel like crap afterwards. The next day, it's not good.
Okay. Are you prepared to make a change?
What kind of change would I have to make?
Well, like I said before about the severe consequences, it certainly sounds like there's some alcohol issues here that we need to deal with. And I want to see if you're up for a challenge to do away with this alcoholism, because it very well is contributing to not just your wife, but how your kids are being, they see a role model of somebody who's drinking and then hitting.
Are you saying I can't ever drink again?
That's a very good possibility, and that's something that as we go in here and we find out about some alcoholism issues, that we'll find out. And most likely, yes, if you're an alcoholic, you won't be able to drink again.
Wow.
When you drink, you have some control issues. Now, it's going to be up to you, and if you can honestly say that you want to make a change and have a happier family, a good relationship with your wife, good relationship with your kids, and, you know, keep yourself from having any more damage done. I mean, physically, you know it's not healthy for you.
Never thought about it.
And obviously, it's not physically healthy for your wife when you drink.
Obviously not.
So I think we need to investigate some more here about your alcoholism, and maybe we can find out some successful treatments for you. And I do have some referrals. Have you ever sought any kind of help at all for this?
No, I never considered myself an alcoholic.
How long would you say that these kind of episodes have been happening between you and your wife?
10 years.
Okay, so out of the 15 years that you've been married, 10 of those years you've been having this kind of a situation?
Yeah, I guess so.
Does that put a little perspective on the issue?
It does.
Okay, well, I think what we need to plan right now is, you know, jail is a big time issue of something else that you may have to deal with if you continue down this road. But if we get you involved with such programs like AA, and there's others out there, and I do have referrals, I'll get them for you before you leave. I think you need to sit down and have a discussion with your wife and explain to her what is happening, that if you are willing to make a change, that it's going to be hard, it's going to be a tough road, but you can do it.
So you think I'm an alcoholic?
I think there's a very good possibility that you are, but I think we need to investigate a little bit more first. There's some things that you can do to find out this information. But I think you also need to sit down with your children and explain to them what happened. There is no reason for anyone to have violence happen to better a situation or to shut somebody up, like you said. Violence is not the answer, and you certainly don't want your kids to feel, or, you know, they could
Yeah, I don't want my
continue
kids
the
to hate
cycle.
me.
then I think you need to do these 2 steps here. Sit down with your wife and sit down with your children, and we'll get you some information and get some things going here on some of this alcoholism, because it sounds like your alcoholism is contributing to the physical abuse that you are having on your way home.
Does seem that way,
Evenings.
doesn't it?
So,
Okay,
all right, well, that's our plan then.
all right,
Okay, so that's your homework for next time, is to sit down with your family.
all right.
Okay, all right, Mike. I know that working together with this, we can have a successful outcome,
Okay,
and I look forward to seeing you next time.
okay,
Thank you.
thanks,
Bye-bye.
bye.